Okay. So there are four parts to my presentation today. What is MonsoonSIM? I guess that's the most important one because that's the core of today's conversation. And then I'll show you the live demo. And then I'll share with you the contextual AI that is built on top of this platform. And then I'll show you how to get started if you're interested in using MonsoonSIM as your teaching and learning platform. I guess this picture tells it all. If you teach with theory, that's knowing it. If you teach with simulation, then you let your students see it. I guess if you teach with gamification, you let your students experience it. And this is what covered by MonsoonSIM. So this is a very simple way to explain what MonsoonSIM is that we bring simulation and gamification to your teaching methodology, if you like, or pedagogy, simulation and gamification. Okay. It's a platform. Everything is in the cloud. So you here as a facilitator, you then configure MonsoonSIM into various business scenarios and let your learners come in teams and learn the concepts through a game. And they are competing with each other, and in trying to achieve the KPI that you set for them, then they will go through a lot of learning process. So it's a lot of self-directed learning on the student's part. And your role is here to become a choreographer or a moderator, if you like, or a supporter. And you watch how they learn, and then you watch them grow as they pick up the knowledge from within the game. Again, you have more time if you have, if you're familiar with MonsoonSIM, you have plenty of time in your teaching because a lot of the time in your normal teaching is now done by the student. They are self-directed learning. So you can focus more on the other parts, like finding them supplementary knowledge and so on, and perhaps worry about the assessment part of it and so on. So how do we do that? MonsoonSIM has developed a lot of micro concepts, digital concepts that we put in 13 business departments, and we put them all in the cloud. So what are these micro concepts, and where are they, how they are linked together? So for example, in finance and accounting, we have concepts such as revenue, costing, depreciation, budget, and so on. And procurement, we have other concepts. And then retail business and marketing business, we have a lot of other digital micro concepts, digitized micro concepts. So what you do as a teacher is that you configure a scenario where it ties in these concepts in a form of an integrated business game. So the student will play a game that involves the concept that you design for them or you pick for them, such as revenue, lead time, rental, and population. These are some of the micro concepts that are built in, that are picked up by this very simple game. I give an example, say accounting, then you are talking about this sort of micro concepts that are being tied to the game. So when they play the game in accounting, then they'll pick up knowledge such as, what is revenue, what is costing, how does the depreciation work, what is budgeting comes in, and so on, right? And then, of course, from there, you can build your curriculum, such as you want to go into managerial accounting, you want to go into financial accounting, you want to go into sustainability, and so on. It's up to you. But the point is you configure scenario. Now, there is this thing very important in MonsoonSIM where the complexity of the game evolves through time, right? So you start with, say, a very simple scenario, just a vendor, a simulated vendor and a simulated retail store, and then a simulated customer that comes to your store and buys the stock that you have. Such a simple scenario, you are actually allowing your student to learn concepts such as revenue, overhead, purchasing, profitability, capacity planning. So in that simple context, your students are learning as they play the game, they're exposed to the concept or the following concept. Now, when you think that they're ready, you give them more concepts, such as give them a loan, then they will be exposed to further concepts such as liability, current ratio, credit rating, even bankruptcy. And then if you think that your student is ready, within the same game even, you can start by adding them marketing, and there they will learn, they will pick up knowledge such as marketing, like the 4 Ps of the marketing. And then if you think that they're ready, again, you can make it harder and evolve the concept, make the scenario a little bit more complex by giving them logistics. Then their student, in the context of the game, once again, exciting game, by the way, then they'll pick up knowledge such as, what do we do with logistics? Why, how do I improve? How do I win the game? Because now I have logistics. What can I do with it? So then they have to explore the concept of logistics, right? And in so doing, they have to understand the concept of costing, for example, and also the shipment, the lead time, allocation, and so on. And then, so that's how the student learn it through experience build up, right? From a very simple scenario to a more elaborate, simple scenario. So this is how the MonsoonSIM scenario works. You start with simple concept, and then you turn the business scenario harder and harder, and let the student experience more and more in-depth knowledge. Okay, so from another angle, a simple scenario like that, you can start with having your student run a simple game, and then they will expose themselves to concepts such as revenue, overhead, profit, lead time, sales, pricing, and so on. And then when you give them loan, then they'll pick up more micro concept, and you give them marketing, they'll pick up more concept and logistic and so on. So that's how you teach with MonsoonSIM. Right? You let the student experience it, immerse themselves into a business scenario where they have to compete to achieve a certain KPI, and you control all that. Okay, you are as a facilitator, you control the scenario, you control the complexity, you control the timing, you control a lot of the environment of the game you control. You can control even the AI, whether you allow them to use AI or not, and it's all up to you. We'll see more about that. Now, if you turn on all the modules in MonsoonSIM, we have this thing called finance module, the procurement module, the retail module, the forecast module, the marketing, warehouse, and logistics, the wholesales B2B, e-commerce, production, material requirement planning, maintenance, human resource, and service management. So if you turn on all the modules in MonsoonSIM in a game, then you have such a model, right? So the model is it's an integrated, it's more like an enterprise model. So you have sales, you have marketing, you have warehouse, you have customers, you have purchasing department, you have vendors, and you have production. You can buy a machine to produce your own goods, and then you can ship your goods to your warehouse, and then you further distribute your store, the stock to your retail stores, and then you do marketing and so on. So you got e-commerce, and then it's backed up by the supporting roles such as the human resource functions, service functions, finance accounting functions, maintenance and asset management function, and also forecast functions. So again, you don't need to turn them all. You can start with a very simple scenario, as I've explained earlier, and then evolve as the student's capacity of learning increases. Okay, so why do we talk about such an integrated business process? I guess the reason behind this is we want the student to have an overall picture of matters, right? Not just finance in silo and accounting in silo. We can teach them like that, but in MonsoonSIM, you really teach them in the context of integrated scenario. So you have human resource. It doesn't stand alone in MonsoonSIM. Human resource is always in the context of business again. You don't have logistic by itself. Logistic is always, again, part of a business. So it's always, the student always expose concept in the context of a business where they can relate to. They can sort of have a story behind it, okay? And that's where they can get excited and get more relevant, they get more connected, I would say. From another angle, if you turn on all the modules, this is what you see. So this is the facilitator screen. You have never seen MonsoonSIM before. This is a screen of a facilitator, screen of the student. I'll show you later, but for a facilitator, that's your screen. You get all 13 modules. You can turn it on and off, up to you. And this is the roadmap where you can design, so this is the module that you can turn on and off. And then underneath this, every module, you have a sub-menu where you can define the model of your business. So if you want them to have, say, cash accounting, you want them to have accrual accounting, you want them to have loans, you want them to have fundings, you want them to have, you want them to see the journal, or you want to hide the journals. It's all under your control, yeah? So that's where you control. And then there's something nice here. This is very nice. As the student play the game, I really like this button because I click this and I can see the students' activity. So the students' activity all showed up and I see exactly what they're doing. And typically it's very busy. When you run a game like that, the students are very busy doing a lot of transactions, doing a lot of analysis, looking at a lot of reports, and looking at a lot of charts and so on. So you can tell that they are busy, that they're doing a lot of work. Now, all that is being captured for you. You can have a very good understanding of the students' involvement in the game. You have a full report of what they do and where they focus on. So a team has like 5 or 10 students, and then you can see who in that team is worried so much on the accounting side and who is working on the logistics side and so on. You can tell. Okay, so that is the brief description, and this is the AI, which I'm going to show you later what you can do with that AI. So that is it. Now here is the team and the structure and the player structure. So when you click this, you can see you can create up to 10 teams in each game, and each team can have up to 10 students. So potentially in a class, you can have up to 100 students in a particular game, right? 10 times 10, 10 teams of 10 students each. So these students, they come in as a team. They will work in their own virtual company. For example, this company is called Team Robot. So this could be the CFO, this could be the CEO, this could be the production guy, this could be the finance guy. And they are running the company called Team Robot. And then another bunch of students, they call themselves Team J, and then they are running against each other. So they're competing against each other, yeah? They're competing. So some team may have 3 people, students, some people have more 4. And to get the student to come into the team is very easy. All you have to do is to share the link, and then they will be able to come into your course, yeah? And that's how you get them to come into to join your course. Okay, then let me share some more. Okay, there's a lot of other small menu here that I'll probably won't go into that. That's like a prepackaged courses for you. You can preloaded courses. So all you have to do is to click and run and load them. So the courses are arranged from a very simple scenario to a more complex scenario. Yeah, there are courses that are preloaded with the sustainability issue. There's courses that are preloaded with crisis that you can just load them and then run. And so on. Okay. So this is your facilitator screen, as I said earlier. And then if you click this icon here next to the student, then you're opening up the student screen. So as a teacher, you really don't have to attend to the student one by one. In fact, everything is on your fingertips. So if you have any question, if say one of the students say that, oh, what is the, why is my financial report like that? You can just simply click that and open it, and you can even share it with the class if you like, so that everybody will see your explanation. Yeah. So you can open up all the students. So this is the facilitator screen, and this is the learner screen. Okay, facilitator screen, learner screen. So learner is working on the transaction, and then you can monitor the outcome. Here you can monitor their learning results. For example, when they play the game, you can see their KPIs live. Yeah. So you can see, are they doing well in terms of their cash management? Are they doing well in terms of the budgeting? Are they doing well in terms of their, logistic efficiency, the operation matters, and so on. You can also measure them and give them a bit of ranking. Of course, it's a game, right? So you really want to make them excited and so on. So you can set the ranking. The ranking can be based on absolute target, or it can be based on a relative target. So So the student will say, okay, within our team, within this class, this particular session, team one is doing the best in terms of, profit and efficiency and cash management in terms of, and then if you change the KPI, then of course there will be perhaps another winner. Okay, so it's up to you to control. It's up to you to set it. It's up to you to motivate your students. Okay. Once again, this is the model that we have seen earlier. I just want to quickly share with you. Earlier, I mentioned that MonsoonSIM brings two additional mode of teaching for you. Not just you teach by theory, which the student will know it, but now your student can simulate it, or you can simulate it in front of the student so the student can see it, and you can let them play it. You can let them experience it, yeah? And the benefit, of course, are manifolds. For example, when they see it, then they can see the cause and effect. They can see what if analysis. They have a sense of timing, yeah? When you run a simulation, you can see that, like, if I do this tomorrow, you'll see what happened. Okay, so you can see the cause and effect. You can also get a sense of timing. Okay, when I send this particular shipment out of the store, what is my inventory cost? Look at the inventory cost that's being the costing of the product and so on. So you can see the sense of timing and cause and effect. Now that cannot be taught if you do it just by theory, right? They don't get a sense of it, but now you can see that. Now the other one is very important is the gamification, which means that the student now can experience them, and that brings a lot of other benefit. For example, there's teamwork going on because it's a team game. Number one. Number two, there's social learning going on because they will help each other a lot because they are in a team. They are in the same high-stake game, so they have to help each other. So much so that they rely on each other so much more than rely on you as a teacher. So that's why I was saying that when you teach with a lot of students, it's actually quite easy because there's not a lot of question coming to you because they will be helping each other a lot. They will strategize, they will find the problems by themselves. And then one thing that is very important is that because of the game, they will learn by mistake, and that is very important. You want them to make mistake. Of course, you don't want to punish them by, it's up to you though. But I personally would like to repeat the game, give them warm-up game so that they learn the mistake that they learned, then they can correct it next time. Whatever strategy that they want to explore, let them explore it. Yeah, it's good because then there's critical thinking going on and so on. So this is the additional benefit of having a multiple mode of teaching, simulation and gamification. All right, so in MonsoonSIM, you can teach various ways. You can mix and match, yeah? You can start with theory, a little bit of theory, then you go into the game. There's some university that just dive into the game, just have fun, and then the student will then realize, wow, this is good. Now I want to learn more. Then you do the simulation, and then you go back to the game. Or you can start with theory and then simulate, and then you game. Or you can turn it around. You can start with gamification and then simulate some of the critical transaction so that they can see that, and then you can start go back to the theory. So it's your choice how you want to learn, how you want to mix and match MonsoonSIM in your lesson plan. Just give example, okay? Say this is introduction to accounting, okay? Now, experience accounting in your own virtual business. That's kind of nice. I would like to start with that with a gamification. Okay, 90 minutes, let's play a game. Okay, and then I'll say, okay, now look at the accounting equation and so on. Okay, I can show you the theory, the PowerPoint, but I can also simulate it. I can let you see, yeah, the accounting equation. I can see the journal entry, simulate it. Let's see, and then I can simulate the all these reports, and then I can do this and audit and bank reconciliation using simulation in MonsoonSIM, and then go back to game. Okay, why not, right? After 5 weeks, and then let's have a week of game, experience all of the above, right, in one game. And then after that, then I go into receivables, payables, simulate, and then game. Okay, I can do that, right? Or if I go to, let's say another example, introduction, let's say I only have 4 sessions in my 12 weeks or 15 weeks. I don't have like this one. I don't have 10 sessions. I only have 4 sessions. Okay, how about we take 1 session to do the gaming, okay, and then we take 1 session 120 minutes to do the simulation of all these equations, right? We show them this, that. We show them the cause and effect. We show them the what if analysis and so on. And then we play a game on the third time that we meet. And then we can just jump into data analytics, because one thing about MonsoonSIM is that all the data are available for the student to study decision-making system, decision support system, and data analytics. So it's very, very good that the student get to attach their, they can use Power BI, they can use Tableau, they can tap straight into the game data, and that data belongs to the student. So there's a connection. It's not some kind of census data. So the data is actually part of their strategic consequence, their decision. So they have a connection to the data. So when they look at the data, they really want to know why. They really want to analyze it. And then perhaps then you give them a second game where they can improve their strategy. Okay, so this is another example. Now, another example is entrepreneurship. You can start with, experience accounting in your own virtual environment. You can then go into operation management. You can let them experience this. You can go into wholesales, logistic, production, and you can experience them in a game. And then you can simulate all this stakeholders, equity, share registry, share valuation, and so on. And then startup funding, Series A funding, B funding, and then go to a game. Or you can run game all the way, right? So this is just some examples of how you can integrate into your lesson plan. So it doesn't have to be that way, yeah? It's all up to you. And then let's go on to say couple of more examples. Marketing. Okay, the 4 P's of marketing, very exciting. So here you can teach fundamental marketing, marketing fundamental, consumer behavior. It's all covered in MonsoonSIM. You can have market segment targeting, brand management, investing in marketing promotion, market research, market analysis, marketing impact on unit sold, pricing strategy, and then so on. Okay, so this is just a few examples of how you can integrate into your curriculum. All right, so one more is logistics, same thing. Okay, you can do it. Now, if you have any course that you say you're not sure how you can integrate with MonsoonSIM, send it to me. Send it to us. We have we do that all the time. We help a lot of university integrate MonsoonSIM into their curriculum. So feel free, share it with us. We'll come back to you in a few days, and we'll tell you that, okay, this is a good place where you can do simulation. So you end up with a blended learning approach to your course. Okay. All right. So management accounting and so on. We'll see all that. Now, I think this is a good part. We'll go into the live demo. So I'm going to go into demo now. Okay. So now I am logging in and myself. I'm going to game I facilitate. Now, when you are a teacher, when you are a facilitator, you will be able to do what I do now, right? But you're not, so you won't be able to see that. But I get to have this menu called Game I Facilitate. Then I can go new menu, and I'm going to run the latest version. I'm going to create a game called AACSB. Fun, okay? I will then use my server. Okay, these are all our customer server, by the way. Just to share with you, these are all our customers so sometimes we need to support, so we have access to their server. But you have your own server, yeah? So your school, your university have your own server. So I'm going to use my server, and then location. So we can take the student to do business in all over the world, right? We can take them to Australia, to the Balkans, to Scandinavia. We can do all that. And the reason why we develop so many locales is that we want to expose the student to the world of business. So in the different country, there's different currency, there's different GDP, and so on. So we want them to. So you feel free to select what you want to do. And I'm going to use US East Coast, and then the product. We have 5 pre-packaged products for you to put in a game. We have juice, gadgets, cafe, automobiles, and medical masks. Now you can create your own product. So my colleague has went ahead and created pizza product, and then of course we can sell pizza. But the standard ones are these 5. Yeah, juice, gadgets, cafe, drink. Now why do we have so many different products? And if you think about it, it is quite interesting for the student, because the product, it comes with a lot of characteristic, attributes. For example, some products is fast moving consumer goods. They will get expired. There has a limited shelf time. Some don't, and some are huge. like automobiles is huge. Yeah, so when you expose the student to different sorts of business scenario, you really open up their mind about, business is not just one shape or form. There's a very dynamic. Yeah, so then they will have the different challenges. So now I'm going to stick with juice. Okay, apple juice and melon juice. Oh, okay. I can't use the thing, so I'm just gonna use that. AACSB fund. Select a product. I'm gonna say juice. Okay, so my game has been created. It's called AACSB fund. Give it a few seconds. Okay, the game has been created. AACSB fund. So now I'm going to take you to the game server. I'm going to go to the game server and run the game. Okay, so here I am in the game server. You saw this page before. I showed it before. Remember the 13 business department here? These are the 13 business department. So I can turn on, I can't turn off finance and accounting because it's always important. You always have to be on. So I can say I can turn on procurement. So that means you buy something. Yeah, of course, that's where the costing comes in. That's all the payment and so on. And then you have retail business, for example, if you like, you can turn on the forecast if you like. So I'm going to turn on forecast, for example. So I'm turn on a few modules, yeah. Let the student start with a very simple module like that. And then underneath here, I can further define my game if I like. I'm going to show journal because I would like to, I'm sure there's a lot of accounting teacher here. So I'm going to just show the journal. Okay. I'm not gonna give them loan for now, but I'm just gonna maybe management report. I'm going to turn on management reporting. And then there we go. So management report is on, journal is on. Okay. All right. So let's go. And then, and that's it. I'm ready to run. So now is where I define where my teams are, right? So I could add teams. For example, I say team one and then team two, for example, team two, right? And then I can go up to 10 teams if I like, yeah? And then here I have, I can add myself as a player. For example, if I just want to explore as a teacher, as a facilitator, I'm not ready to run as a player with live students. So I'm going to add myself as one of the players. So I put myself as one of the learner. Here I am. So Abdi is now in team one, right? So I got team two. Now team two, what can I do with team two? Team two, actually I can put a couple of robots here. So we have robots that you can second into the game. And the robots, they will do transaction. They will compete with you. Okay, so Annie bot and John bot, they will be running their company called Team Two and in competition with you. Yeah, so I have to be aware of them. And that's it. I have two partner. Okay, I have no partner. So and then I have a competitor. Okay. Now, if I want to get a student to come in, for example, 100 of them, so all I have to do is to share this link. And then that's it. They can come in. But we are not going to do that for now. So I'm not going to share that. So there you go. So I have this game set up. Now I'm going to run the game. I initialize the game. There you go. And then I will show you what what screen I'm looking at as a student. So now if I go to the my screen, if I click this, the eye, that means I'm opening up my page as a student, yeah? There you go. So now I'm opening, so this is my facilitator screen, this is my student screen. So now I can act as a student as well as acting as a facilitator. This is really good for me to do some exploration. So now let me open up my student screen and I'll run some simulation. Okay, there you go. Now, as a teacher, I also have this special button here on the student screen, which allows me to click through, simulate day over day. Yeah. So now I would like to just click through one day and show you what happened. Now, remember, before I even run the game, look at my cash in bank, 3.5 million. So I got 3.5 million in the bank and I got overdraft limit of 2.5 million in the bank. That's it, nothing else. Now, if I look at my journal, That's it. I have cash in bank, debit, paid in capital, 3.5 million. That's it, right? This is the very, very beginning of the game. So if I click one day, look what happened. Then look at what happened. My operating expense now is 1,400. And so now my net profit is less, my minus 1,400. And the students start wonder why, right? Why are you having operating expense? Well, if you look at the journal, then you can see that you actually have salary expense that you have to pay, which where's the, because you have people working in your procurement department, these four guys, they need to be paid. So therefore, you are incurring 1,400 of salary to pay for this guy, yeah, on the first day. So if you continue like that, then obviously you will run out of money because you keep paying for salary and you're not generating any income, right? So for example, if I run another day, then I will get another payment out there, right? If you look at my operating expense. Now here's my data explorer that this is very good for the student to see everyday transaction day by day. So if you look at the operating expense, you can see that I'm paying 2 days of salary in my operating expense for my procurement department. Okay, for the. Okay, so now let's continue our journey as a business person. Yeah, we need to make money. So what do? I'll show them. Here, if you look at the forecast, check out the retail forecast. Whoa, look at that. There's a demand, right? There's a demand for New York. A lot of melon juice in demand in New York. A lot of melon juice. So it's interesting. So let's take a look at our location. These are our location. We have New York. Remember earlier we select East Coast, right? So New York, Miami, Washington, Boston, and so on. So notice that here are the retail areas, rental, and this overflow fee. So which is more expensive, New York or Miami? Okay, obviously New York is more expensive. Now, perhaps New York has a better demand, right? So we can cross-check with the forecast and say that, okay, maybe I'll take a chance in New York, right? Even though the retail is higher, but there's a huge demand. So I'm going to click go to retail and I'm going to get 100 square feet of store in New York, right? So I select this and I approve. So now I have signed an agreement, a rental agreement with the vendor, with the lessor that I'm going to lease for 100 square feet, right? And then if I go to the next day, look what happened. Then my store has come in, New York. So the New York is already in, and I have got 4 staff working in New York, and then I have nothing for sale. So now, suddenly on this first day of having New York, I look at my cost and you look at it and you say that, wow, I'm spending so much now, right? First of all, I have to pay, I have to pay the procurement, continue to pay the procurement salary for these 4 guys. But now I have to pay salary for these 4 guys, New York. Yeah, salary. Yeah, okay. So I have to pay this guy. But now I also have rental expenses, which is this guy, this much money per day. I have to pay rent for this. Plus, I have to recruit these 4 guys. So the recruitment cost me 60,000. So all this becomes my concern because I've already fork out 72,000 before I even make any money. Yeah. Okay. Now the story continues. Yeah. Store. So how does the story continue? They have to make money. How do they make money? So now that they have a store, they can go to retail and perhaps they do some procurement. Okay, so here are 2 vendors trying to sell them some goods. Good thing is the price is quite cheap because then they can probably sell for a profit. So now I'll just go to one of the vendors and then buy a bunch of stuff for New York because I got tons of money. I got 3.5 million. So I'm going to buy a lot of goods into New York, 20,000 each, 20,000 of apple juice, melon juice, and this. I'm going to do cash on delivery. I send the PO and I approve the PO. Okay, so my PO has been approved. I send it. Then I click the next day. Voila, look at what happened. I start to make money, right? My goods has come in and I'm starting to sell. Okay, so I bought 20,000. Now I've ended up with 19,000 because I've already started selling. Customer comes into New York and buys. That's really good news, right? So now if I look at my chart, as a student, then I can see that I do have sales going on, right? Now, looking at the chart, right? What can they decide, right? I can decide that melon juice is really good in New York, right? New York people, they like melon juice. So that's one of the decision that I made. That's one of the pattern that I saw. That's one of the data that I visualized. So if I were to do a lot of business in New York, I probably want to focus on melon juice because I can see from this, right? It's selling very well, 4,000 a day, right? The melon juice. Okay, let's go on. Perhaps this is just a fluke. Let's go for next day. Maybe there's some kind of pattern. Okay, indeed, right? The second day I'm also selling quite good. So I can make a decision that okay, New York melon juice is quite good. Okay. But we have to be careful now. So this is where the students' excitement comes in later. This is when there is no competitor in New York, right? Suppose if my competitor, the robot, came into New York, what happened? Then I may not be able to enjoy such a demand. So unit sold will probably have to be cut in half if there's a competitor. But I'm not sure yet at this point. So that's where the marketing module comes in. So if there's marketing module, then I can try to get some intelligence, buy some report so I can see who are my competitor in New York. But now marketing module is not turned on, so I'm flying blind. Yeah, so that's where if you teach executive decision system, there's one of concept which is the bounded reality. So the students are bounded by this reality, and then they probably don't know much at this point. Okay, so there you have it. We have sales come in, we have gross profit, we have net profit, and I'm starting to have net profit. So I can see a lot of other things like, I can look at my cash on hand, how is our cash on hand going, and I can look at my profit and so on and so on. I can look at my profit and loss, and I can see that is beginning to come up like that. So every picture tells a story. So it's up to the student to reflect back to the teacher what they have discovered. And there's also a bunch of other chart here that they can see. What is the unit sold for unit sold accumulated? How much I bought? What is my price? What is my margin? What is my finance? I can look at what is my current ratio, cash in bank. I can see all that. Okay, so this is all my thing to analyze, what I can analyze. So as a teacher, you can set your student to do some analysis. After a few days of game, let them come back to you and share their story and share their findings to you. Okay. So this is where the game mechanics happen. So you can do click and sales. You can change the price. For example, if I change the price, for example, if I set the price of melon juice way up high, let's see what happened. So I change the price of melon juice. Apple juice. Let's see my sales, whether it is affecting with a change of price. Okay, notice that what happened? I changed the price of Apple and my unit sold actually has dropped quite a bit, right? This bar here. So this is all the impact of the price that I raised that affecting the unit sold in New York. Okay, so all that, so everything is related. Everything is all based on logic that they have to analyze, and nothing is dynamic. Okay, every time you reset the game, the whole dynamics of the game changes. For example, the demand changes, the forecast change every time you reset the game. So the student, there is no one way to win the game. Every game they have to think carefully. Every game they have to strategize carefully. Okay, so this is the very simple demonstration of the MonsoonSIM mechanism, game mechanism. Okay, now back to the teacher here. All right, so I can monitor. So I can from here I can monitor all the KPI, the team's KPI. I can see what is the student sales, for example. I can see the revenue. I can see the what do you call it, the sales, and also I can see the gross profit, for example, net profit. I can see half screen. I can see last day data, last day. I can see that. So this is what I saw. Okay, what I've discovered. Now I can also look at it as in terms of a trend. If I don't look at the last day, then this is a trend. Okay, then I can see the team comparison. one team to another. And I can see the report, I can see the table form, I can see the chart form. There's a lot of KPI that I can see. Okay, now, is there any question so far? Okay, no problem. So now let's go back to the my presentation here, which is contextual AI. Earlier I mentioned that when you run this, okay, so now I'm going to the contextual AI MonsoonSIM. So MonsoonSIM is trying to build a business arena where you can have the student immersed into the business arena, and then there's AI that can help them understand. Now, this AI is your control. If you don't want them to have the AI, you can shut it off. If you want them to have it, you can let them have it. Now, this AI is very powerful. They can help the student to understand more. So instead of you teaching them, let the AI teach them. Yeah, that's one thing. Also, the AI also can help you in many, many ways. For example, I just give you an example. This is how the AI can help the student. For example, if the team needs discount from the vendors, okay, without AI, then the vendor will just give them discount based on some random dynamics. But with AI in the game, the student, when they need discount from the vendor, guess what they need to do? They need to negotiate with the vendor. So the student needs to talk to the vendor, ask for discount. So this really gives them a sense of realism, because then this is what real life is. Yeah, you don't really just get it just by some quantitative number, but you still have to do the qualitative approach. You still have to call the vendor, negotiate. So there's a sense of realism. You can also teach the student professionalism, critical thinking, and also soft skill. Now, these are very hard to teach in a normal class, right? How do you teach soft skill? It's very, very difficult, particularly these days, right? So very hard. Now, with this game, it forces the student to engage with the game environment. So actually behind the scene, there's our AI, but the point is the AI actually working with the vendor and trying to talk to them. So therefore, you create a very natural environment where they practice their soft skill. Okay. Question here is, can you set the level of difficulty of the AI? Yes, you can. You can make it very, very tough. You can make it very easy. For example, the negotiation. For example, I give you another example. Let's say the team needs to get funding, right? Now, without the AI, you just satisfy some quantitative KPI. For example, oh, you have a good current ratio, you have good this, and you achieve certain target, then you got your funding. But with AI, guess what? You have to submit your qualitative proposal. Now, this qualitative proposal is really a testament of their understanding of the business. They cannot anyhow say, oh, I need funding, give me some money. The AI is going to reject them. I mean, the supposed to be the quote unquote investor is going to reject them. All right. So this really forced the student in a very natural way to learn more about business, things like professionalism, soft skill particularly, right? They have to be polite. They have to be polite. They have to make sense. So for example, you can't just tell your vendor that, oh, you know what, I want to become like a multi-billionaire with your funding. The AI is just going to reject it. I mean, so they're gonna get rejected. So this will teach them a sense of again critical thinking, soft skill, and professionalism. Yeah, it is very important and it's very difficult to teach. I know, particularly these days, right? Now with AI, we can really insert all this into our lesson plan. It's a blended learning. So not only just quantitative learning, but they also learn the qualitative side, the soft side. Yeah, it's very, 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 and it makes the game so much fun, right? The student will really feel that they can't just anyhow just write anything. Just, they have to think, they have to be polite and so on. So that is the AI part. Now I'm going to give you some example of how the power of AI is. For example, let's suppose I'm here. Let's say I run for a few more days. Yeah. I run for a few more days, 7 day, say day 10, day 9, day 10. I give you example. Okay. Now here, if I were to go to the vendor, now I can start negotiating for a discount. Again, notice that there's no discount given to you by the vendor. Okay, so the vendor say, okay, thank you very much, but I'm not giving it. So now you have to negotiate for discount. So when you click this, you can say, okay, please give me a discount. Yeah, I well, you can. They even it doesn't matter. You don't have to be perfect English. I need to expand. Oh, I'm a good customer, let's say. All right, submit. So you're asking the vendor for a discount, right? So the team, one of the members asked for it. So let's see what the members say. Okay, so this is vendor negotiation transaction is being triggered. You approve. Let's say what the next day is, and let's click one day. Okay, so the vendor say that thank you for your royalty. We're happy to offer you 20% discount for your next purchase. Okay, so that means now if you go to the same vendor, you have got 20% for the next purchase. Okay, so this is the AI in play now, right? The AI is part of the game to try to become the game market maker for the game. So MonsoonSIM provide a platform and an arena for the AI to perform within this element. Okay, now I want to show you another example of AI. For example, I'm not sure as a teacher how the students are doing. I can simply click here. For example, I'm observing the student. I can say that, okay, team KPI. Okay, please check the team for me, AI. I want to know how team one is doing. So you, as a teacher, perhaps I don't have time to analyze the students. I just ask the AI to analyze for me. So the AI will go out there and read the financial report from team one, and then come back to you and share with you. There you go. So this is the AI report. Come back to you, to the teacher. Whether you want to share this to your student is up to you. So the AI will get to know all this, the cash on hand, all that situation. Now, this is the advice, strategic advice coming from the AI. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to improve your sales utilization, you need to monitor this, and so on. And I can also check another team and say, okay, what about team two? So you can also check that. So this is another example of how we have developed this contextual AI that can help in teaching, in facilitating, in also assessing the student. Okay, there you go. So this is the result for the AI. So you notice that they're different. Okay, so these are the real life data. Now, not only that, there's a lot of other things that, for example, like here, I can click the AI and ask questions such as, if I'm not sure how to run this game, I say, how to rent a store, then, so this is all trained under MonsoonSIM now with the AI. And it will teach you. So you get a lot of help when you run MonsoonSIM because the AI is actually there to, at your fingertip to help you run the MonsoonSIM. Okay, so all this is, given to you. You can simply click and read through it. And then we have other AI. For example, we have this cool AI that can do this. All right, let me just share with you. Okay, so let's suppose you have a team running. You can ask the AI to assess them like we did just now, but now instead of assess them, they quiz them. So the AI can take their report and generate a quiz such as, why are you having high operating expense? And the same question is being asked to all the players, and the player has to answer individually. And then the AI will get all the data and analyze them, and then submit a score back to the teacher. And the AI can do it for all the teams. So, can you imagine how first of all, it becomes so much fairer in terms of bias and so on. So you can take away all that angle, and then you let the AI just do the assessment, test them individually, and the AI will score them and give you the answer. It gives you the analysis of the answer, right? And then provide a final scoring for you. Okay, give example like this. Okay, Okay, another one is, okay, give me an example. There's a game that we run earlier that has the AI testing and scoring. Let me go back to another game that I ran earlier. I just show you the other game that I run. So I guess this is coming towards 4 minutes mark. We have 4 more minutes, but I just want to very quickly go through one of the reports from the AI again for the assessment. I thought it's very, very cool because imagine that if you have this in your fingertips, you really can be so much, what do you call it, less biased and less personal feeling when it comes to assessing the student. You can leave it to the AI and the AI can really do all the testing. So here's the score by boss. That's already it's already being reset. So I don't have the data. But otherwise, I would have kept the data, and the data would be like something like this. Let me quickly show you because I don't want to. I want to show you this, right? So this is the data. This is the screenshot of the boss that's going to ask. So he's going to ask the team one. Team one, with your high inventory value, how do you plan to optimize your inventory management? So the answer from team one, this is this. And then the analysis of the AI, and they give you a score, 2 points, right? So another team, the same, another team, team two, a different question, and then the answer, okay? And then they analyze the answer and give you a score, and so on down the road, down the line. So this is, it's just that the question is dynamic. It is never being, it's not constant. Nothing is constant, and your result is not constant. So everything cannot be cannot be memorized. It's all dynamics. All right, now I want to leave you with the final one, which is how to get started if you want to get started. If you want to start with MonsoonSIM, I want to share with you a few slides very quickly. So who have used MonsoonSIM in America? So you got Michigan State, Illinois, UF, Wisconsin, and so on, Penn State. These are all the testimony that I got from them. Michigan State, Wisconsin, all this is all published online, and then they're all there. We can see the YouTube of all this. We got a lot of publication also with MonsoonSIM. Yeah, all this user. Now, how to get started? Okay, 3 steps, very easy. First, get trained. We are going to, this is good news, right? We are going to give free train the trainer for you guys. Please sign up. I'll share with the link later and in our follow-up email. We'll send you a link where you can get the train the trainer. It is free, okay? 3 hours. You learn how to configure MonsoonSIM, you learn how to run with live student, and you get a free facilitator account also, okay? Then you try it out. After you get trained, you try it out. You try it with a live student. I suggest you just go to your class and run it. Okay, run it with anyone. Just run with live students. Try changing the configuration, make it harder, make it simpler, and then see the result. Most important is number 3: get feedbacks from your students before deciding. So you make sure you ask the student, what do they feel? What's the learning outcome? Do they get anything out of it? Okay. Now, if that is good and all, this third one, if you want to start, is very easy to start. How do you do it? You post your course. You can post it to us. We can help you post your course. And then the student will click your course and subscribe. $20 for 6 months subscription, $36 for 12 months subscription. There's no charge for the teacher. We only charge for the student. So the student pay $20 for 6 months or $36 for 12 months. Okay. And so you then will be notified when they subscribe and you can start teaching them. And that's it. So I show you some of the courses that are being posted in MonsoonSIM that we host, like here. Like here are some of the courses that are this is okay. So Rhodes College, for example, Sacramento State. These are the courses that they post, and then so we're gonna create one of these for you. Then you can share the link like this one to your student, and then the student can just simply click and purchase, and that's it. Okay, so that's and so you can host it with us. We can create this for you, or you can simply have your own mode of collection of the subscription fee, and then you can just also you can collect on behalf of the student and pay us. You can also do that. But we prefer that you just do this easier because the student subscribe and then you get notified and then you can run it. All right. So right on time, 12 o'clock.